What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Listenack. It's episode number 10. Today, a livecom doubleheader for the month of November. Yes, we're back. Of course, yesterday we had a pretty big game. Today, you could argue the game is even bigger, or rather the games are bigger. We are going to be taking on Blagnac and Addons, both away from home, both in the month of November, separated by 3 weeks. Yes, this could be a really make or break episode, which might seem mental to say, in November, but the bottom line is, in a 26 game season, after today's episode, we're halfway through, and we already will have taken on Addons, who sits second twice. We've already played them, obviously, to start the season. It was 0-0 as we took them on at home. Blagnac, hot on the heels of us both. And you'd have to say, if we can win today's games and win them well, suddenly we look like we're in a really, really good position to seal the title and a promotion. Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed on the club overview screen, I have made the decision to sign in Mbukani. He made his debut in the first of 2 games we played since you were last here. That was in the Cup, and yes, in the French Cup against a team whom they don't have a badge. They play in the regional leagues. They were founded only a few years ago. We beat them 8-1. It was not a very pretty game for them. There was a real variety of goal scorers. We'd be here all week talking about it. 2 big performances that I should probably highlight. Sega got a hat-trick. Really good for him. He's been doing really well when he's been fit. Unfortunately, he has just been wrestling against various injuries throughout this season. I'm hoping he's got over them now. I'm hoping that, he's going to be back to his best. And, the other player who played very well in that game was Nguala, who got 5 assists. He's got 5 assists and 3 goals in 2 French Cup games, but he got 5 assists in this one game. When you win 8-1, it's a good team performance, really. And it was good to see Mbukani score on his debut as well. Anyway, the other game he had was in the league. It was a 2-0 win. Barane Bar scoring the second penalty of 2 he scored in the last 2 games. And then Nguala went from assister to Mr. Goal scorer. Yeah, a nice little finish. Tucked it away, fairly standard stuff. I'm happy he didn't miss the open goal. And with those results, as you already have seen, we do remain top of the league. Of course, Addons slipped up last episode, and that saw us go top of the table. You can see, looking at the player stats here, we're not really present anywhere. I guess El Mutaki has 2 man of the matches, and Guibert has 6 clean sheets in 11 games. But by our own very high standards, there's a little bit of a lack of players. I mean, Mutaki at this point now has 4 league goals, I suppose. And if we just peek here at the average ratings, Karim Bouali is actually our best player in terms of average rating, but it's not quite been as dominant as previous years. Anyway, Mbukani is back in the team, and it's difficult, right? I want to fit him into this team somehow, but it's a bit tricky. I don't really want to drop El Mutaki. On the flip side, when you compare Mbukani, who of course has come here because it's his first chance to be a scout and to be a staff member, when you compare him with Mutaki, it's kind of difficult to justify not playing Mutaki today. Or to not playing, rather, Mbukani today, to the stage where I think we're going to give him his livecom debut in this first game. I did think that potentially with Mbukani coming in, El Mutaki, he would just go and swap for Nguala. And then, of course, Nguala in the last couple of games has been absolutely insane. His stats this year have been off the wall, but particularly in the French Cup, he's done very, very well. In a slightly bizarre way, an injury or 2 would probably help make my team selection a little bit easier. Anyway, unfortunately, Bilek is suspended for this big game, so we're going to bring in Guy Lasmy at the back. He is going to slot in alongside Robert, and the rest of the team is kind of as you'd expect, I suppose. Farfan has had just a little injury. He is kind of quickly in decline. I say that, and of course, there's loads of green arrows on his name. But no, he's had a few little injuries here and there. A little knock, you can see here, he bruised his thigh and was out for a week, just at the end of October, only back in training for the last couple of days. But we should be winning this game, even away from home against Blagnac. If we're serious about promotion, this is the one to win. So, I don't even know what I want to tell the players here. I feel like we'll just go with the fairly standard shouty, Mbukani, do your thing. Quite excited to see what he can do. Mbukani, he got his first goal in that French Cup game, but ultimately, when you take on a team without a logo, is it really a test at that point? I'd argue it's probably not. It is worth noting that there is a game between today's 2 LiveCon episodes, or LiveCon matches, I should say, in the league. We've got the French Cup. We're taking on another lower-end team, as far as I'm aware. I would love to go on a little French Cup run. It's not really top of my list of priorities. The league has to be the focus. Nevertheless, a cup run, I don't know what the money's like in the French Cup, but from an excitement perspective, if we could get drawn against one of the big dogs and make it a little bit further, that would be nice. I believe we're now in the 7th round, and the board expectation is the 8th round. The French Cup has so many rounds. It makes the FA Cup seem like a cakewalk, really. I guess just so many teams in France that want to take part in the French Cup. Who would have thought? Anyway, they've got the ball here at the back, Blagnac. Attempted ball over the top. Robert reads it, though, with his massive neck and the vice-captain armband. You don't get an armband as vice-captain, but with his vice-captain armband around his arm, he's doing his thing. Mbakani, oh my word. It's just not very fair on them, is it? El Mutaki's been too good for this league, and then we've just brought in Mbakani. He's got all these international caps, so much experience, only really interested in joining us because he's looking for a way into his first ever job as a staff member. And he just does that. Oh, I want to be like, it's not fair. I don't care if it's not fair, because it's in our favour. And sometimes you got to win. I should point out, guys, if you're wondering about any weird pauses today, my neighbours are doing DIY. I'm having to record around their whatever this is. So, I'm sorry if the episode's up late. I'm pausing the recording and pausing the game and whatever whenever they're doing this stuff. Let's hope they're done soon. Please. Okay, I think the drilling is over. Hit play, Jack. Let's get through this game. Mbakani, don't score too many. Don't make too many replays. But yes, I will try not to make too much of the edits, and I will avoid them where I can. But if today's episode has any weird bits where you're like, that's disjointed, I'm so sorry, but it's a little bit of a nightmare today. Anyway, early chance for us. Tipped over the crossbar by the keeper. What can we make happen from the corner? Nothing is the answer. They deal with it quite well, Blagnac. Although Nguala's got his own ideas. Saban, now with Barr, he hits it from range. And, well, I'd be lying if I said at any point I thought Barr was actually going to score there. He scores from the penalty spot, and that's kind of it for the centre mid. He's not a long shot specialist by any means. You can see here, after 20 minutes, what a dominant display this has been so far. Having so much the ball, they've had just one shot. We look in control, but you're never really in control of the game for as long as it remains 1-0. So we would like to add another. And, well, Mbakani, he's not quick, but he's sprung the offside trap and shot it straight at the defender there. A great opportunity. Lasme gets it up, now with Saban. Really keen to see what Saban can do for us in centre mid. Obviously, he was playing for Toulouse as a junior kid, went to Granada, was released by them, returned to France. And the way I found him, because someone was like, how did you find him? Basically, what I've been doing very, very frequently is searching for homegrown at Toulouse players. Toulouse are the big local team to us. And he popped up in our searches, similarly to El Mutaki and Jabi. Obviously, the difference with this chap, Saban, being the fact that he went and played in Spain for a year, then came back after he was released, being a French national. He just returns to his country that he's from. I think that's just a thing the Football Manager does, basically. I didn't realise it did it to an extent where I guess he returned to Toulouse, the way the game simulates it all, because that's where he's born and that's where he played as a junior. But interesting stuff. And so far for us, he's not necessarily shown Toulouse quality, but he's looked very solid. As Robert hits the woodwork, and I notice that Sega Keita has an injury. Off the pitch you come, Farfan on you come. Few changes going on. Worth noting, for all the people who are saying, Farfan and Mbakani, slightly weird transfers, I recently discovered that Jean-Aron Arisa is playing, I think, in the 3rd or 4th tier of Norway. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're just following in Risa's footsteps. Jean-Aron Arisa is a pioneer, everyone. He's a trend setter, and Mbakani's all about following those trends. Anyway, Nguala on a booking, a little bit tired. Let's take him off for El Mutaki, see what he can do out on the left-hand side. With 20 minutes left, it's hardly been a classic, but you would say we have been in control of this game. If they score now, there might be a mild amount of panic. I'm hoping that we can still get that second goal that would just give us the breathing room. Castien forward to Mbakani, who is dispossessed, but Farfan's there, and oh my word. I mean, if Farfan scores from range as well, it's just the old guard bailing us out with long shots. Unfortunately, we're just not creating nearly enough in the way of clear-cut chances. The good news is we have not looked like conceding today. Blagnac, not good enough. Mbakani's one solo long-range effort. The difference maker. Well done, lads. That is fine by me. You know, a win away from home against the team in third. Did Agd slip up? Oh my word, they did. I said that more out of hope than expectation. They have slipped up. They have lost 1-0 against Murray. If we can now go on and at the end of the month beat them, we are going to be in such a good position. 7 points clear, halfway through the season. I'm feeling optimistic. Let's go forward to that one, navigate the French Cup, and I will see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second game of today's episode, taking on Agd. Yes, if we win this, my word, what a position we could find ourselves in. A position which, if you told me it was possible going into this episode, I would have bitten your hand off for. You can see it's the end of November, just looking ahead, and well, behind as well. We played one game in the interim, it was in the French Cup, it was against Ferron Avian, and well, they are a regional team with half a star reputation. We scraped by 2-1, not the most convincing of performances. We had a sending off in this, it probably should have been a few more, and our prize for winning that game is a game against Ajaccio, who we are going to be taking on in the French Cup 8th round. They're in the National League, so they're a team a couple of leagues ahead of us. That should be a pretty fun game to do next episode. I don't know what I'm going to do next episode in terms of, we may do that game and then a kind of look back on the previous 2 months at the end. It might be a Uno reverse card of an episode where we do the game at the start, then go forward. But either way, that's tomorrow's problem. But yeah, great to go on a little run in the French Cup. You can see here the league just looking very, very comfortable. And of course, the board expectation for the French Cup was the 8th round. We have now reached that. Obviously, getting drawn against a National League team is not too bad in terms of, for our, I suppose, reputation, in terms of a possibility of a bit of a cup upset. I'm quite looking forward to it already. You can see here, board status, or not board status, job status, untouchable. They love me. I'm top of the class. And, well, they're not particularly satisfied with our development of players through the youth system. That is something that I would like to make amends for in the future, but that's a future problem for future Jack. Present day Jack, we've got Agd today. You can see this is the team that we had last time for our previous match in the French Cup. I did rotate things around. We should be able to just go to our previous selection and, well, we use a preset to help us out here. Bring in Mbukani, and already we're pretty much at full strength in terms of our team selection. Besides the fact that Mbukani is not up front. I feel awful dropping Mutaki, but it kind of has to be done. I'll tell you what, Nguala was a little quiet in the last game. Let's give Mutaki a chance out on the left-hand side, and let's bring in Farfan for Keita out on the right-hand side. Obviously, we've got so much strength in those two areas of the pitch that, you know, having a couple of players battling it out for it, I don't feel like we overly weaken ourselves by rotating it slightly. Anyway, Agd are a tricky opposition. Last time we met them, it finished 0-0 to start the season. We're going to hope for a better result here to mark the halfway point in the season, boys. I have faith in you. Go out there, make the difference, make my day, get the win, put us 7 points clear, I think it would be, if we could win this. This is huge. This is big. But they are a team who we didn't beat before, and they've been tough to beat for many teams this year. Recent form, though, has not been particularly good for them, so I feel like we're playing them at a pretty decent time here. Maybe Mbukani can score another absolute banger for us, like in that last game. We got a little bit lucky, to be honest, in hindsight, at just how we won that previous game. One long shot, the difference maker. One long-range effort that just found the back of the net. And, well, early on in this game, it could be another low-scoring affair against Agd. Of course, it was 0-0 last time we met them. With 32 minutes gone, it's 0-0 here. Although they are on the front foot, and it's a header that just goes over the crossbar. I think Gibert may have had it covered in goal. You can see here, we are not really doing enough here in the early stages. They are having more of the ball, which, when you're playing a system that revolves around dominating possession, is slightly concerning. With that in mind, I'm going to just encourage us to get a little more direct, up the tempo. Let's get the ball higher up the pitch further, a bit more attacking as well. Agd are a team that possess a lot of quality. And with them playing a free striker formation, it's going to be difficult for us to play out from the back at times. So just committing men forward as Mutaki lurking at the back stick. That's what you want to see. Maybe he can do a job out on the left-hand side if Mbukani's going to dislodge him as the striker. But yeah, Mbukani doing what he does best. Just been a massive weapon of a striker in the box. Winning the ball, flicking it on. The defender couldn't deal with it. Mutaki, lovely little finish into the bottom corner. And well, we will take that all day, every day. Very, very happy. And worth noting that today we're playing in our third kit. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy. Castellang is not happy about that. I've demotivated him. It's on me. Everyone else reacted well, so I'd call him the problem there. But no, 50 minutes gone, a goal up. This is slightly reminiscent of the last game where, we've had one chance really, one good chance, we've taken it. But besides that, there hasn't been a whole host of opportunities for either team. You'd say at the moment this result is against the run of players. Farfan wins it for Mbakani, who now goes to Karambuali. Our average age is so high in our team because of some of the veterans we've brought in. It must be one of my oldest teams ever in a YouTube Let's Play. I saw a really good comment on yesterday's video just talking about the fact that in Football Manager, oh my word, how have they missed that? That's embarrassing. Someone talking about the fact that, in FM, you don't really see older teams. Players who play Football Manager, I certainly can confess I am one of these kind of players. Once a player hits 27, you're done, son. You're out. You're older than me in real life, past your prime. Get out of there. Whereas this has been a bit different at Luzenac. We don't really have the pick of the bunch. We're picking up the players off the street that do get kicked out because they're too old. And to be fair, they're doing a pretty blooming good job at this level as Farfan on the volley gets what I thought was his first goal for the club. It actually turns out it's his second. 2 long throws. And, if that's how we're going to grind out the result here, it's not a particularly pretty way to win a match, but we will take it. Dezon launches it forward. Mbakani kind of didn't really even challenge for the ball. It just fell on Farfan's boot on the volley, tucks it away. 20 minutes gone. We are in a good little spot here. Castellang, I'm going to take out for Chinchilla. Shanine, I am going to bring in for Mbakani, and we're going to move Mutaki into the striking position. But 2-0 up here. Breathe a sigh of relief. Surely not another long throw. I feel dirty. Saban. Wide to Karambali, whips it in towards the back post. Chinchilla, welcome off the bench, my friend. A player who was so important to our first team last year. This year, his value in the team, I do feel like has dropped a little in terms of what he offers. But what a lovely finish that was. The initial chance was dealt with. Saban put it wide to Karambali, switches the play over. Chinchilla, all on his lonesome. What a lonely Chinchilla he painted a picture of at the back post. But to be fair, what a composed Chinchilla he was, tucking it into the bottom corner and agged a team who at the start of the year we couldn't score against. In this game here, we're just bullying them now. It's 3-0 up, and with that, you would say we should be now getting promoted. I'm going to say it, everyone, we're only halfway through the season. If we don't get promoted from this position, I have messed up. I will shoulder all of the blame. But what a position we find ourselves in here. What an opportunity. Shanine, big ball forward to Mutaki. He is slide tackled away. Coronas now keeps it in play, but Shanine is going to win that. Willie Shanine. His name's not Willie Shanine. I've just given him the first name Willie. It sounds good though, doesn't it? Willie Shanine. I mean, is that going to catch on? It's Walid. Willie sounds better. I mean, Walid's a lovely name too, Shanine, but Willie's more affectionate to me. I love my willies. Anyway, Shanine, on this left-hand side, cutting inside, what am I saying? Please help me. Michel, now with Bar, Chinchilla, Bar, Mutaki, tries to put it wide, dealt with. Madede launches it forward. Mansoy, oh my word, Bilek, that was a naughty tackle. Striker shoulders it off, runs forward. Gibert with the stop in the one-on-ones. I'm losing count. I've been counting on one hand all season. How many of those kind of saves has he made? I've lost count, everyone. I don't have enough hands. I mean, I do have a second hand, I suppose. But moving on. 5 minutes left. We're in control here. This is a great team performance. We've looked good from start to finish. Let's take off Dizon just to make sure he can't get sent off here. But game, set and match. Agged. Well, I want to say they were dominated. They weren't really dominated. We just took the chances that came our way. And on off the bench, Chinchilla came on, I think, at 2-0 up. Got 1 goal and has been given man of the match. I don't know what to make of that. That feels like a reactionary decision where someone who was not watching the game was meant to give out the man of the match award and has just kind of looked at who scored the last goal of the game and gone, yeah, give them the champagne today. Either way, Superior finishing the difference maker. Chinchilla was on the pitch for 2 minutes before scoring. Really, really good performance for us across 2 games today. I think the big thing of note is, defensively, very, very solid against 2 of the bigger teams in this division. Both games away from home, both games big wins for us. You can see 13 games played at the halfway mark, 7 points clear. Canet Roussillon, who we took on last episode, now back up to 3rd. And, well, Blagnac, they are way, way, way off the pace all of a sudden. I guess they lost again. You can see behind us, it's a very competitive pack, but sadly for them, there is 1 promotion spot, and we do currently sit in it. And that is where we want to be for the rest of the season now. So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for your support on the series as always. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it. It is super appreciated. I apologise for my neighbours drilling. It's not ideal. It's not what I want to deal with. It's not what you want to deal with. Done my best to work around it. I think we've nailed it. Hopefully this video makes it up for midday and my usual slot. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.